Coming to you not so live from New Mombasa. Starring MJ Rookie. Special guest, Raptor 086. Musical talents, Drop Pod Manifesto. It's the Halo Late Show! And here's your host, MJ Rookie!
Hey everyone! Hey, how's it going tonight? Thank you. Yes. Hello. Hi. Hello. Yes. Thank you. Thanks. Hi. How's it going, everyone? We have a special show for you tonight. I know it's super exciting. First things first, I want to thank you all for being here or at home. If you're watching from home, it means the world to me that you tuned in for a second episode of the Halo Late Show. I'm super ecstatic, super excited. If you can't tell, I've been energized today. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get in my seat. People were telling me I don't know how to actually get in the passenger seat of a mongoose. I want to tell you that's bupkis. Look, I can do it first try. Bam. Look at me go. Also, another comment I saw, I'll throw it up on screen, was that it must be terrifying to be interviewed and be forced to answer questions at gunpoint for 45 minutes. I am here to tell you that Raptor will not comment on the matter and that he is totally okay with it. Anyways, I spoiled who the special guest is and probably the title of the video too. I want to give a warm welcome to Raptor 086. Everyone, give him a round of applause. Yeah, Raptor. Hey, there he is.
Raptor, you the man, Raptor. Raptor, I have your face tattooed on my chest.
Hey,
Raptor,
calm down.
hey, Raptor.
Calm down. You front and center. I'm looking at you. Shh. Shush.
Hey, a lot of energy in the back.
A lot of energy in the back. I like that.
Your crew. Yeah, your crew. They're pumping up your guests, man.
I like it. I think it's mostly those monitors telling them what to do. Anyways, how's it been? It's been a while since you've been in Halo.
Yeah, I've been kind of hanging out offline here and there, but for the most part, I've just not had a lot of time for gaming or forging or anything lately. But I'm back in the mix now. I'm back.
Well, it's good to see you back. I'm pretty sure everyone missed you. Isn't that right, everyone? Yeah, see, that's what I thought. See, everyone missed you, Raptor. Look at you go.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I missed hanging out with my Forge pals, and I definitely missed forging. So
I just wanted to, what's new with you? What have you been up to, aside from Halo and forging and, lack thereof?
Well, the hiatus mostly started when my first daughter was born. My first child in general was born.
Daughter.
So
wow.
Being a dad is wonderful, and it's also very busy, as any parent would know. That I'm finding out quickly that it takes a lot of time and energy to rear a child, even though I have a wonderful, beautiful wife that does probably the vast majority of the work.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, I want to give you an applause. Oh boy. Can we get an EMT on site? I think I killed Jim.
That's the Jim. In the little bit of free time that I do have, I've jumped on Halo periodically, but for the most part, I've been sticking to the single player, kind of casual, less competitive games. Played a lot of Hitman. A little Skate 3.
Yeah.
I got the 4K
classic
update for the Xbox One X.
So
nice. Playing that a little bit. And then lately, I jumped back into competitive and been playing a lot of PUBG.
Yeah, little birdie told me you've been playing that PUBG. You playing that PUBG a lot?
Yeah, it's addicting, man. It's addicting. All of $30 worth for sure. But nothing will replace Halo.
Yeah. I mean, you've gotten your time out of it, haven't you?
For sure, for sure. But and to be honest, we talked about this offset a little bit earlier, and I think playing PUBG has made me a better Halo player. I don't know exactly why, because the games couldn't be more different, but maybe it's the attention to individual gunfights, or the attention to strategy, or who knows. But definitely, now that I jump back on Halo, I've been performing better in competitive matches than I ever did before. So
yeah. No, I
knows
totally
what it
get
is.
you. Yeah, it's some odd thing. I was playing like Overwatch and other games like that, and going through some different games that involve tactic. When I jump back into Halo, sometimes I feel like I'm actually improved somehow, and I don't know how. But I think it's what you were saying, the way the tactics go, or the way you change, the way you observe certain things as a player, it just shifts. I heard a lot of people play Dark Souls when they jump back into a first-person shooter. Singling out enemies is easier for them too.
Well, and I think there's something to be said too, just about taking a break from almost any hobby, whether it's in gaming or otherwise. You kind of tend to overthink things once you're into it, and then you quit for a while and come back, and it's like the muscle memory and just the instincts, they just kind of take over, and it seems like the good sticks and some of the bad might get lost, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I think again, just welcome back. I think as you heard earlier, it's really good to have you, and you've been missed. You've been really missed. One thing that I wanted to bring up was your maps. You've obviously been gone for a little while, but what have you been working on either lately, or what was your most recent project that you were doing, even before you left?
Well, I do have a new project I just recently kind of got into, and that's in its infancy at the moment. But other than that one, it was probably before my little hiatus is the last projects I had. I worked on couple of puzzle maps. I got really into forging puzzle maps for a while. As you know, I enjoyed messing with the scripting and trying to get creative with that. And so puzzle maps are a good way to get to implement different types of scripts. So
For sure.
got quite a few of those, and quite a few unfinished puzzle maps, to be honest. But maybe I'll get around to them soon.
I think you should, and if you do, I will be right here waiting for it. Because that's one of the things that I definitely want to see you get back into. Because that was one of your best features, really, was your creativity and your capabilities to understand the way scripts work in Halo. When others, like myself, I'm not as versed in scripts, and sometimes they're a little harder for me to delve deep into. So you were always there to save my butt, including the drop pods, and I think that a lot of people would love it if we did something new in that directory too together.
Yeah, well, and ever since we worked on those drop pods many updates ago. So they've added new pieces and edited out fixed some bugs that will probably make a new version of drop pods that much smoother.
Oh yeah, smoother, easier, that sort of thing. Oh man, I love it. I love this guy. Love him, love him, love him. I mean, seriously, you've been gone on hiatus for too long. Anyways, so those are kind of what you were working on recently. What's your most recent map about? Did you have anything specific in theme?
Well, I just, whenever I go into trying to get a new idea, if I don't have something in mind already from the real world that I just thought was a cool looking piece of architecture or something, I tend to scour the internet for pictures of whether that's just cool architecture that would be fun to forge, or if there's a piece of another map that really just seems to work gameplay wise, then I might kind of ask myself, what is it about that area of the map that's so fun to play on, and is there a way that I can take the essence of it and make my own map that has a portion of it like that? And that's basically what I did for this one. I was playing around on some some various maps and whatnot, and I just found some different elements of them I enjoyed, so I started messing with pieces, and an idea came together. So now I'm pumped to have some inspiration again. But that's about all I can say about it now, because it's still just in its early stages. But
for sure, yeah. Well, I think that's fantastic. You've got a lot of things to catch up on, I think, because the community is definitely has a raptor-shaped hole in its heart. If this community had a 4 vascular system pumping artery. Anyways, my humor's dry. We know it. I know it. They know it. Look at you. You guys know it. Yeah. I can see that one guy nodding on the left side. Anyways, I just want to try to work on that a little bit. But no, yeah. Do you have any videos yourself planned? Any tutorials you think you could do, or that you might be doing here soon?
Well, to be honest, I'm not going to rule it out completely, but that's my YouTube channel's still on a indefinite hiatus because I'm what's up?
Oh, the producer was flagging me. He says we need to go to commercial. But hey, screw him, right? Anyways, no, as you were saying.
No, the YouTube channel's on a hiatus for now. I don't really have any plans to go back to that anytime soon, and I'm not going to rule it out. But it's just something that I have such a limited amount of free time to allocate to gaming right now anyway that I don't want to waste it on YouTube at the moment.
Right. I can understand that. Well, if you ever do come back, I know that you had a fan base of people who relied on your scripting tutorials. So I know that if you did come back to at least that part, that would be appreciated by people. But if you don't, you could always do limited amount of recording if you wanted to ever do anything of it. And if you didn't want to post it and edit yourself, feel free to post it with me. I'll put it up here.
Well, maybe we can talk about having a script of the week segment for your show here.
Oh, there we go. Huh? What would you think of that, guys? Huh? Script of the week? I like that. We could, yeah. Calm down. I think we could do. We could definitely do something like that. Script of the week could range anywhere between like something you've obviously shown before, all the way to something that's kind of new, simple to complex. Things that make puzzle maps work out, and some things that don't.
Sure.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go to commercial, and then after commercial break, we'll go ahead and take a look at those clips of us going and exploring his maps. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors, and I didn't even bring up our sponsors for this week. I don't know what they are. We'll find out at the commercials. See you guys in a bit. Dude, where are we?
Well, I thought, we'd get an early start on camping out for Halo 6. Got a few options here.
Yeah, I see that. We got Target and Walmart and Best Buy and... Hey, where's the GameStop? Oh, they went out of business. Ah, I'm sad.
Now, I'd say let's go get some pancakes, but I don't think they look open over there.
Not the IHOP. No. No. Okay. Well.
I wonder if Brewski's inside.
Oh,
Save him.
Brisky, no! Wait, why would we go? Never mind. Brisky, no! Well, we're here. We're at Walmart. I don't know why you decided to choose this one, but I guess to each their own. Halo 6, it's going to be out anyways.
Yeah, I thought the lines might be a little too long over at Target and Best Buy, so Walmart was the way to go. But, it's a little smelly and dirty and stinky.
Well, this isn't my hometown. Do you want to give me the grand tour?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we are in a closed-in parking lot. The idea was that this is some sort of post-apocalyptic world we're in, where maybe everyone seems to have disappeared, or maybe it's long after an outbreak and most of the threats have been cleared and it's just a desolate wasteland. Right. So it's a little bit run down.
What was your main first initial idea for this map?
When I was a kid and I used to skateboard all the time, you especially as a younger kid, I was obsessed with skateboarding, and everywhere you look when you're driving around town or whatever, you just see potential skate spots or cool little rails or ledges that you might could skate on. Well, now as a forger, sometimes I'm driving around town and I just think, well, I could forge that. And I always thought that Target and Best Buy and the different signs that based on the palette that we had to work with and this forge, that they'd be relatively easy to make. So I started out this project just forging the storefronts just because, and it evolved into this puzzle map. But I was on a puzzle map kick for a while, and I enjoy messing with scripting, and there are a few different scripts in this map later on toward the end that get a little bit complex, and they were fun to work out. So.
Oh, hey, target.
You shoot that target, and it's essentially on a timer. So once that target is shot, you'll see that on the little carousels or whatever they're called that are housing these carts, the center piece kind of lifts up for a short period of time and exposes a fusion coil on each one. So prior to it, there you go. So prior to that respawning, or rather closing back up, you've got to shoot those. Well, one thing that I was thinking about doing a while back, and I may still do it, so I will let you know if I do, is I wanted to take down the walls that are enclosing the entire map, and then just get rid of some of the detail around the map to get some more pieces back for me to use, and then use those extra pieces to extend the terrain outside of this just enough to make it kind of a DayZ, battle royale sort of a map.
So I think we should head back to the studio, or I guess not head back to the studio. We haven't even been to the studio yet, but I'll see you there, right? We're gonna go record, be live, and then enjoy, just an interview, talking, chatting, in front of our not so live studio audience.
Absolutely, I'm pumped about it. But that is if we can get out of here, because
right,
we're
so
kind of trapped.
Well, which way to the airport? Would it be that way, or we came from this way? All we have to go do, I assume, is probably head this direction, and then take a right, go back to Inception, and then find the nearest plane, and we'll get back to New Mombasa, or New Mombasa.
I think I could hotwire this garbage truck. Let's get out of here.
That'll be faster. All right, well, I'll let you do that. Audience home, we will see you in the studio. Anyways, well, before the break, we talked about if you have anything new coming out. We also talked about what you were working on, what you've been up to.
I remember very well.
Yeah. I just one thing I wanted to talk about. Did I already ask you what your main inspirations were?
Well, I kind of mentioned a little bit.
Yeah, what inspires you to forge? Like, what is the huge thing that inspires you?
Well, I don't know that there's an easy answer to that question or a straightforward answer. I don't have any set things that are my forge inspirations. I just enjoy creating things, and then once I've put in the work to create something that I think is cool, I like to share it with my friends. That's
right.
The long and the short of it.
Right. Okay.
I'd like to think that's about the gist of it for most forgers, but
yeah, no, I think I totally get that. That's just artists in general.
Yeah. Well, but if part of the reason you're asking is more about what sorts of things directly give my maps inspiration or give me inspiration to create the maps that I have created, then I'll answer that question, which is really just more that I see something cool in the world that I want to forge, and I go with it and try to turn it into a real map. So that's kind of what most of my stuff starts as.
Yeah.
Either that, or there'll maybe be a really cool favorite map from either another game or from previous versions of Halo, and then I'll have fun adapting it to work for Halo 5.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that makes the most sense to me. I think I'm pretty much the same thing. A lot of my inspiration comes from other medias, like most people. But another thing that really does inspire me has to be the way things can go together. So, like in Fort Gilder, or like oh gosh, what's another map of mine? Fort Yimnub. I really was captivated by the different things that made up the style of it. So like the flying buttresses and all the columns and stuff in the Fort Nimnub, I really thought that it just looked really cool to have all those simple pieces. And then in Fort Gilder, I just really wanted to make a castle just like everyone else, but I really wanted it to look more authentic than everyone else. I guess another inspiration is not necessarily to be competitive, but to innovate.
Yeah, well, and your creations are often incredibly unique, so I think you're pretty successful with that.
Well, thank you.
I know. I've taken the liberty to, I'll say, give myself a little credit and say adapt some of your creations to my maps, but if not, just straight plagiarize them. But
hey, you know what?
You've got a lot of great ideas. Why not use them? Right?
Hey, good artists copy, great artists steal. I mean, it's a famous line, and a famous artist said it, so it has to be true, right?
Well, on that topic, though, something I find pretty interesting is how much some forgers seem to overreact, in my opinion, to the idea that their creations or their ideas are being used by other forgers in the community. It seems so ridiculous that would be a thing. And I get that we work hard on our creations, so you don't want that to be directly stolen. But what's Forge all about if it's not sharing your creations with other people?
Yeah, no, of course. It's a very controversial topic, and I want everyone to know that I feel like if you work hard on something, obviously you have a right to feel endeared to it, but you shouldn't. With Forge, I agree with you. It's about sharing, and that's what the prefab system was created.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, prefabs aren't out there so that you can just have yet another menu to search through for, some sort of popularity contest or something.
It does
so
make
that
it
players
helpful
can
for
find
that,
something cool and, well, sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with some competition between forgers or anything like that. But I mean, the idea, if I'm not mistaken, is to be able to jump on there, find something that looks cool, created by someone other than you, and then put it on your map and use it. And
Yeah.
you know, I think the only qualm I would have is if someone were doing that and then trying to somehow claim that they created everything that they took from other people. But I mean, that's usually not the case. You just put it on your map. But at the same time, not to ramble too much, but I also feel that, you know, it's a Halo game. It is, you know, emphasis on the word game. We all take it very seriously, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's just a game, and I don't think that it is the responsibility of a person using someone else's idea or prefab. It's not your responsibility to go out and tell everybody that you didn't make that either. If they assume that you did, so be it. You know?
Yeah, I totally wholeheartedly can agree and see your side of the matter. There's a lot to be said about that, though. There's multiple factors that go into it. There's legitimate fear that someone will try to use your hard work against you, or I think the biggest fear is someone would take your work and then suddenly they get credit for it and you aren't recognized for it. So that's kind of one of the things that I think a lot of people are afraid of, and I think it's a little irrational sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because I think that you know, I understand that as a concern, but just because you didn't get some sort of direct praise for the creation that you made doesn't mean that you weren't a contributor to something great that came out into the Halo community. Even if, let's just take an extreme example and say that someone took a handful of your ideas or some things that you put out there as prefabs and put them into a map that got into matchmaking and was one of the best custom maps ever made into Halo with, you know, wide popularity, and you got no credit at all for it. Well, you know, that might feel, I don't know what word I'm searching for, but obviously you might feel like there was some injustice because you didn't get recognition for your hard work. But you know, ultimately your hard work is just meant to put cool out there in the Halo world, and you did that.
And hey, you know what? If it made the map that much better, then it speaks volumes for your work, and all you have to do is push a little further, show it off a little more. Obviously, don't be super overprotective, but show the world like what else you can do. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder.
True. Yeah, ultimately, if you're putting out good content, you'll get recognition for it eventually, anyway.
Yeah, and I think I'm being called out again by the producer over there. He's telling me we're out of time.
All right. Well, I guess that does it then, huh?
Have any closing thoughts?
No, just I think it's a great thing what you're putting together here to have a Halo show like this, and I'm sure that as this is, I believe, episode number 2, I'm sure that it will evolve over time as you get feedback from the community and the viewers that watch it. But overall, I think that it's a cool thing. So, you know, keep it up, man.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming in, Raptor. Thank you so much. It's good to have you here, and it was great to have you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating tonight. Please give it up for Raptor. He's such a great guest. Raptor086, everybody.
Thank you.
One of the greatest forgers I could ever have met, and I'm probably going to say that every single time. Anyways, this has been the Halo Late Show, guys. If you want to know more and want to leave feedback below, comment, let me know. Suggestion box is open. We've also got other guests coming on the show later on in the next couple weeks. We're looking at getting maybe some brewski action in and maybe some Infinite or Chewing Nut Cluster, Bacon Media, all the likes of them. We want to really diversify, really talk, and really get some good folk in here. Anyways, Raptor, great having you. Everyone, thank you for coming, and have a great night.